Time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Katafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you in studio with us today. We are sitting down with Lewis Rice from Rice County Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. Hello, Lewis.
Hey, hello, Paul.
It's always nice to sit down with you and see you and catch up.
Thank you. It is good to catch up.
I know when my kids were little and they were playing football, we had a lot of time with Lewis Rice. And now they're grown and gone and all adults.
Yeah.
And now we're getting grandkids.
Yes, isn't that amazing?
You know, we were talking about how much time we've been here in the Verde Valley, how long we've lived here. Yeah. You've been here since
79, 80.
And I've been here since about 85, so yeah, we're a couple of old-timers for sure, aren't we? Okay. All right, Lewis wanted to come in, and we wanted Lewis to come in to talk a little bit about tax season, because we do have to start thinking about that right now.
You sure do. Yeah. Here, the end of the year is coming up quick. Thanksgiving next week. So 2020 should be pretty much locked down tax-wise. Only 1986 there was revisions so that laws were passed in January and February, and they made them retroactive. So that doesn't happen very often, and it hasn't happened since. So we don't think there will be anything with all the changes that are coming about.
Due to the COVID this year?
Yeah,
okay.
and elections and everything.
Okay.
We don't believe there will be any retroactive changes affecting 2020. You know, it is the government; they can do what they want, so they could do something. 2020, some of the big things was the stimulus payments, or what the government calls the economic impact payment.
Okay.
And that happened the first part of the year before tax season. You know, tax season usually ends April 15th. Then they extended it to July 15th. The stimulus payments, or economic impact payments, started or came out the end of March. So a lot of people had not filed their 2019 taxes yet. And then when they extended the 2019 deadline to July, they wanted to still get that money out to people. So they said, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, we'll go off of your 2018 information. So basically, that economic impact payment was $1,200 for adults, $500 for dependents. But since a lot of people hadn't filed their taxes, they were working off of 2018 information.
Taxes a whole year earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people had dependents in 2018, but in 2019, those dependents might have went off to college or moved out of the house, and so were no longer dependents.
Can we not claim them as a dependent when they're not living under our house, but they are in college? And
you can. So there's some rules.
Okay.
So they can be your dependent up to 24 if they're still in school, college. Some trade schools, they have to be accredited and recognized by the government. But yeah, they can be your dependent. And you know, Lord knows we continue to pay for things, insurance, phones, you know,
tuition,
housing,
books, housing, food, clothing.
So they're definitely
what they have when they're in our houses, living in our houses. We're pretty much taking care of it sometimes while they're in college too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so they can be your dependent. But you know, sometimes they don't. They move out. Some get married real early. I was one of those. I got married out of high school and started our own. So. But anyway, so the government had that old information they were working under. So maybe you got an extra $500 for a child or dependent that in 2019 was not your dependent. So on your 2020 taxes, which is coming up, they have a reconciliation for that. And so apparently, if they gave you $500 for a child who ended up not being your dependent in 2020, you're going to have to give that $500 back.
All of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That could be really detrimental for somebody who's got a big family.
It could be. Let's say you have 2 kids that are, that's $1,000. So they haven't, it might be, a lot of credits. They have refundable credits, and they have non-refundable credits that can offset your tax liability. So one thought is that $500, maybe you don't have to pay it back right now, but it goes against, I don't know. We'll see how they do it. We haven't seen the final.
How many stimulus checks did people receive? I don't receive that stuff. My wife sees it, it comes in, and then it goes out. It just automatically comes in. So I never know. How many stimulus payments do we receive?
So you should have just received one.
One, okay.
But some people did get 2 because, so after that, they started seeing things popping up that, and then not only do dependents leave, but people had babies. People had new dependents that the government didn't know about and stuff. So on the IRS.gov website, they started a portal where if you hadn't filed your taxes yet, or if you haven't filed in the last couple of years, so we have a lot of older people here in the area that are retired and their income levels are low. All they have is Social Security and maybe a small pension, so they don't have to file taxes. But they created this portal where you could go on and you can put in your information and you could still qualify and get that economic impact payment of the $1,200. And if you're married, you could get $2,400. So a lot of people were doing that. A lot of kids who are dependents or are in college, they heard about that website because they're very good about technology and stuff. So they'd go in and they filled out the information and they were getting that $1,200 when they shouldn't, because they're still mom and dad's dependent.
Right, I know there was inmate fraud going on with that too.
And they didn't know it was fraud. They heard everybody was getting this $1,200, and
it's total
there's a
chaos
website, and I'm going to fill out the information, and they got it. So when they do their taxes this next year, that's going to be reconciled too. And so some of them are going to have to pay back money, or, I don't know. The government, they understand there's a lot of economic problems right now and things, and individuals, business, schools, colleges are having a hard time. A lot of students didn't come back. Everybody's, suffering economically. And so hopefully they'll have some understanding and they'll make some adjustments for things and stuff. But
is there like a deadline when they're going to have some of this nailed down, and you would know exactly what's going to happen? And how long do we have to wait for that?
December 31st usually. But sometimes it goes into
New Year.
Sometimes it goes into January. Now, if you haven't received your economic stimulus payment, your economic impact payment, stimulus payment, whatever you want to call it, and you think you do qualify for it, you have until November 21st to go to irs.gov. So we got a few days left here. You can go to that portal and you can fill out the information and everything and see if you qualify. Because a lot of people who filed their taxes still haven't got their stimulus payments. And calling the IRS right now, they're shorthanded too, like everybody else, and getting through to somebody. I have people tell me, I was on hold for 2.5 hours and I gave up, and so it's hit and miss. So go to that portal on irs.gov, fill out the information, and hopefully you hear back from them. A lot of people moved, so they were sending checks out to bad addresses.
Oh, wow, okay.
Some people they had direct deposit information for, because that's the way they got their refund check the year before, but that bank account got closed. And so, the payment went to the bank, came back. They weren't sure what to do with it. Most of those got mailed out to people, but there's still people that should have received those payments that have not. So go to the portal, see. But if all else fails, when you file your 2020 taxes, there's supposed to be a section on there, and it'll all reconcile. If you didn't get your $1,200, you should get it then. if you qualify.
Oh, well, okay, so on the back end of it then.
Yeah, on the back end.
All right, let's take
Hopefully you can make it till then.
Right. Well, yeah, I don't know how some people are making it right now, but let's take our first break. Lewis Rice from Rice County Jackson Hewitt Tax Services in studio today. This is Countywide. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to Countywide. Lewis Rice with Rice County Jackson Hewitt Tax Services in the studio today. We're talking about, well, taxes. Yeah. Taxes are coming up. But we want to backtrack a little bit. Ryan brought up a good point. If there was a death in the family, spouse or dependent, that is going to change things as well.
It does. So those, like we were saying, they're working off of old information, so they don't know who has passed away. And so if you did receive money, a stimulus or economic impact payment for someone who passed away, that money is going to have to be repaid back. So that's another one. So
those of us who thought maybe we got a little extra and thought, all right,
probably not.
It could come back and haunt us in the end.
Yeah.
Save us now, but haunt us in the end.
Yes.
A little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The government giveth, but they taketh away.
Yeah. All right, you've got changes in W-4 as well. Let's move on to W-4s.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's the form you fill out when you're at work, and that changes your withholding out of your income to pay your taxes. And a lot of people have been surprised the last 2 years because with the new tax laws and stuff, tax rates have dropped and things. If you've changed jobs, or a lot of employers require you to fill out paperwork yearly, the new form is real confusing in the sense that it asks if you're single or married, and then it asks about dependents. But the old forms was, if you claim how many people are in your household. I'm married and there's 4 people in the household, and they're going to take, $35 a week or whatever for taxes. Now it's married or single, and then do you have dependents? And that doesn't ask how many dependents or anything. And so you fill that out, and based on if you're married or single, and if you have, it does ask if you have more than one job on there. And so they're estimating that they're going off of national averages, basically. And so, couples are average $50,000 a year of income, or $80,000, whatever, and they say you're going to be in the 12% bracket. So they just take that much out. They don't, check on any other situations.
It's an average.
It's an average.
Okay.
So you need to check your pay stub, and you need to look and say, hey, I made $10,000 so far this year. Did I have $1,200 come out in taxes? Because that's the tax, rate you're going to be paying.
Okay.
And if you don't, you need to adjust it. But a lot of people were surprised last year when they did their taxes, because they changed those rates across the board, and so a lot of people expect, people use it as a rainy day fund or forced savings, and they know, hey, I'm going to get a large refund at the end of the year, and I can do something with it, go on vacation or catch up on bills or buy something big. And a lot of them didn't. They had a refund, but it wasn't as big as they were expecting, and it was because the withholding amounts decreased a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so
what do you recommend? Because I have the most taken out so that I don't owe at the end of the year. I would rather not owe and just owe all the way along. So that's what we've always done. But is there a recommendation from you for that?
I'm conservative. I used to want to break even or owe a little bit each year, but over the years I have changed, and I pay in more than I should, and to get a refund.
Okay.
And teach their own. But a lot of people, they need to be right on, because the bills, they got to pay the bills. So you have to know your budget. You can't owe a whole lot at the end of the year because you don't have extra to pay a whole lot, and you can't afford during the year to have a lot of extra withheld to get a big refund. So looking
per case, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of a per case thing. What's good for Lewis may not be good for Paul.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That makes sense. Is that good for W-4s?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Standard deduction?
Yeah. So your standard deduction increased dramatically. A lot of people would itemize, take their mortgage interest off and their charitable deductions and things. And that's back when a married couple, your standard deduction was $12,000. Well, now they doubled that. This year it's $24,800 for a married couple is the standard deduction.
Okay.
So now, for most people, that's greater than mortgage interest and charitable deductions and things like that. So they take the standard deduction. So that's real important. But a couple things. If you give charitable donations and things, even if you take the standard deduction, it's possible to qualify to get a little extra $300 deduction on there for also giving to charity. Okay. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm taking the standard deduction, I don't need to track anything else. I would still track it and just double check. It doesn't take long to double check and see which way's better for you.
Okay.
That standard deduction seems to be working out for most people. More people are getting refunds now.
Well, that's nice.
That is nice.
That's good. All right, we got to take another break.
Okay.
All right, and then Arizona tax credit. We should hit. I know you want to hit that one up for sure. So let's do that one. Okay. So, Lewis Rice, Rice County, Jackson Hewitt Tax Services in studio today. We're talking taxes. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left in the program. Lewis Rice from Rice County Jackson Hewitt Tax Services in studio today. Let's talk Arizona tax credit. What's the deadline for that?
So December 31st for some of them, but a lot of them are extended to April now.
Because of this year?
Well, no, they just knew that giving. I was really surprised when they extended it. Every year I expect the Arizona government to take them away because they can't control that money. But they actually made it better by giving people to April 15th to donate, so you can do your Arizona taxes. You figure out you owe $200, you can say, hey, I'm going to give $200 to the Verde Valley Senior Center, or $200 to DDDB school, or whatever, and so they're making it easier for people to do it.
So instead of giving it to the state and just letting the state use it wherever they want to, we can literally designate where the $200 goes, $300, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I want that to go right here, and it's going to be used for this instead.
Right.
See, that's nice.
It's very nice.
Really nice.
Because, no offense, government means well, but it is big, and it's kind of a black hole. You send your money, you don't know where exactly they're spending it, where it's going. And this way, you do know where it's going. And here in the Verde Valley, there's so many great organizations that
we have them in here.
Oh, yes.
And this year has been a horrible, horrible year for everybody because we talked about all the people that are unemployed. Yeah. People don't have the money they had a year ago, 2 years ago, to make a donation. So I can't imagine what the charitable organizations, the 501c3s, are going through this year.
Exactly. You just have to make sure, and the organizations, you can check with your organization to make sure they're a qualifying charitable organization. But schools, private schools, public schools, all the different organizations. One I really like, Arizona has a Arizona Military Relief Fund, and that's one. And that one does run out at the end of the year. Okay. And you have to make it directly to them. And
so some do and some don't.
Yeah.
How did they determine which charities? We got about a minute left. How many charities actually aren't past December 31st, but then you've got a bunch more that are okay through April 15th?
Yeah. So most of them are through April 15th now. There's just a handful left. And, and I don't know. I think at some point, I believe they'll get on the same page and all of them will have the same due date.
When did they extend that date, the deadline?
Was it last year? Some of them it was the year before last, and then last year they did the majority of
it. Did the whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
But it was before we had the COVID thing. Because I was thinking maybe that was a reaction to COVID.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can help the charities out.
No, that would be a very good one.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But
do we have time to say changes in state tax laws? Can you do that in 60 seconds?
No, not really.
Okay.
But, great. They have a little added deduction for veterans.
Okay.
So that was really nice because, I really appreciate this last week, Veterans Day, and I appreciate all the veterans and the people who serve. And we have so many dedicated people that, made my life better and freedoms that I enjoy.
Exactly.
And one of the big ones was that added deduction for veterans.
Okay.
So.
And it just now happened, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I think it would always been there, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I guess not. Okay.
No.
So, Lewis, thank you for coming in on such short notice as well.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
And getting a clue. Lewis you sponsored the program since the day we went on the air with Countywide.
Yeah, it's a good program. I learned so much, and you bring up interesting subjects and local subjects, and
good.
It's great to be in the know. Yeah,
it's working. All right, Lewis Rice, Rice County, Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. As always, we thank you for watching, listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you.